You know things are serious when even the shade rooms are quiet for a second. Because what just hit the internet about Chrisean Rock, her ex-trap boy Bino, and little baby Jr. makes the Kardashians' entire drama catalog look like a bedtime story. Trap boy Bino just broke his silence, and the internet can't decide whether to cry, panic, or refresh the page for more tea. The man didn't just post a cryptic message. He dropped something that has fans whispering, wait, did he really just say that? Word on the digital streets is that baby Jr's diagnosis might be more serious than anyone expected. And the way it was revealed, pure internet chaos. Fans are flooding timelines, screenshots are flying, and theories are multiplying like TikTok dance challenges. This isn't just a family issue anymore. It's a social media earthquake. And when Chrisean's name gets mixed in with medical drama and emotional confessions, you already know it's going to be the headline no one can escape. Buckle up, because what's coming next will make every celebrity scandal this year look shockingly tame. The internet was already buzzing before trap boy Bino even opened his mouth. Chrisean Rock's timeline had been suspiciously quiet for days, and fans knew something was brewing. When Bino finally spoke up, he didn't hold back. His words hit social media like lightning, sudden, electric, and impossible to ignore. Everyone expected drama, but no one was ready for the emotional storm that followed. Bino's revelation wasn't your average gossip headline. It wasn't about who texted who or which celebrity unfollowed the other. He claimed that baby Jr., the child everyone had watched grow through viral clips and fan pages, was facing something far deeper, a health diagnosis, something real. And in that instant, what was once entertainment suddenly felt painfully human. Of course, the internet did what it always does. It exploded. Every fan page, gossip blog, and reaction channel started dissecting every syllable Bino said. Was it true? Was it exaggerated? Did Chrisean know he was going to share this? No one had the answers. But that didn't stop the wave of theories from turning into a full-blown social media tsunami. Fans started scrolling through old videos, looking for signs they might have missed. Did baby Jr. look tired in that clip? Was Chrisean hiding something? The comment sections were like digital detective headquarters. Everyone became an expert overnight, claiming to know the truth, the diagnosis, or the secret behind Bino's sudden emotional reveal. The chaos was hypnotic. You couldn't look away even if you tried. Bino's tone wasn't angry this time. It was raw, reflective, and almost apologetic. He talked about how parenthood had changed him, how seeing his child in discomfort broke him in ways fame never could. This wasn't about clout or clicks, at least that's how he framed it. His message came across like a confession, and for once, fans saw a side of him that wasn't hidden behind music, drama, or viral moments. Meanwhile, Chrisean's silence became its own headline. Every hour she didn't respond made the tension thicker. Fans begged for clarity. Say something, Chrisean became a trending plea across platforms. When you've built a brand on being loud, passionate, and unpredictable, silence is the loudest response of all. Insiders started leaking unconfirmed whispers, stories about stress, late nights, and emotional strain behind the scenes. Some said Chrisean was heartbroken. Others claimed she was furious that Bino had spoken before her. The truth, as usual, was buried somewhere between rumor and reality. And fans were digging like their Wi-Fi bills depended on it. By now, the internet had turned baby Jr. into a trending topic. Not for his adorable smile, but for something much heavier. People who'd once joked about Chrisean's wild energy were suddenly sending prayers and sympathy. The shift was jarring. The meme stopped. The tone changed. It felt like everyone collectively realized this was bigger than celebrity gossip. Still, there was a dark irony in how fast the same people who fueled the drama turned into digital supporters. Yesterday's critics became today's comforters. The same fans who laughed at her chaotic livestreams were now typing paragraphs of encouragement. That's the internet. One moment, you're a meme. The next, you're the main character in a global empathy wave. Bino's post kept getting reshared. Millions of views, thousands of comments, endless breakdowns. Influencers began doing analysis videos, zooming into screenshots, quoting captions, trying to decode the emotional tone like it was a true crime investigation. It was messy, but it was magnetic. Everyone wanted to be part of the conversation, even if they didn't understand half of it. What made it even wilder was the timing. Just weeks earlier, Chrisean had posted glowing pictures of baby Jr., smiling and playful. Fans felt blindsided. How could everything look so perfect and still hide so much pain? It was the kind of contrast that reminded people how social media is often just a highlight reel. The filters hide the fatigue. The smiles hide the sleepless nights. Chrisean's brand has always been built on rawness. She's emotional, unpredictable, and fiercely unfiltered. That's why people love her and why others can't stop watching. But this time, the story wasn't about a viral argument or an explosive tweet. This was about her child. And even the most hardened trolls seemed to draw the line of mocking that behind the chaos. One thing was undeniable. Bino's confession had cracked open something real. His message wasn't perfectly polished or PR approved. It was vulnerable. You could sense the fear between his words, the regret of going public but the pain of keeping it private. That contradiction hit home for a lot of people. Suddenly, this wasn't just celebrity tea. It was the kind of emotional transparency you rarely see in an industry built on performance. Then came the conspiracy corner of the internet. People started speculating about whether Bino was trying to regain sympathy or shift the narrative. Some fans accused him of using emotion for attention, while others defended him, saying he had every right to share his truth as a father. The debates turned into digital war zones, each tweet another spark in an already blazing fire. Through it all, one uncomfortable question kept floating around: did Chrisean and Bino ever agree on what should be public and what should stay private? For a couple who lived much of their lives in the public eye, the lines were now blurred. Privacy had become a luxury neither of them seemed to have dawed as the night went on. Clips of Bino's live video spread across every platform. His voice cracked in parts, his expression carried the weight of worry. The comment section was flooded with both heartbreak and disbelief. "Stay strong, Baby Jr." read thousands of messages. Even celebrities began quietly liking the posts, signaling silent solidarity without stepping into the chaos. By morning, it wasn't just a trending topic, it was a full-blown cultural moment. Every outlet was talking about it, from gossip blogs to mainstream media. Everyone wanted to know, what exactly was Baby Jr's diagnosis? And why did Bino feel the need to be the one to tell the world first? Whatever his intentions were, one thing was certain: the internet had already picked its side. Some saw him as a hero for being honest. Others saw him as reckless for exposing private family matters. And in the middle of it all was Chrisean Rock, silent, emotional, and undoubtedly watching the story unfold in real time like everyone else. The truth had slipped out, but the damage was only beginning. The internet had its newest obsession, and there was no going back. By the time the sun came up, social media had turned into a digital battleground. Every influencer, commentator, and gossip page had their own version of the truth. Some were defending Trap Boy Bino like he just did the bravest thing in hip-hop history, while others accused him of crossing the ultimate line, exposing something too sacred for clicks. It was emotional whiplash in real time, the kind of chaos only the internet can cook up overnight. The memes came fast because the internet never waits. One moment, users were posting heart emojis and prayers. The next, they were turning clips of Bino's live into TikToks with dramatic filters and emotional music. People joked, analyzed, speculated, and cried, often in the same comment thread. The emotional tone swung like a pendulum between sympathy and skepticism. It was like watching a social media reality show that nobody signed up for. But everyone kept binging anyway. Even celebrities began reacting. Some dropped subtle tweets, cryptic lines about boundaries and doing what's right as a parent. Others posted stories with indirect shade, clearly referring to Bino and Chrisean without naming them. The digital streets were reading every emoji like it was coded intelligence. One heart emoji from a rapper could spark a full theory thread with screenshots, timestamps, and voiceovers dissecting its meaning. Then came the fans, who decided they'd seen enough. They started calling out the media for turning something private into entertainment. "That's a baby, not a storyline," one viral comment read. But the irony was that the same people begging for privacy were refreshing every update, like it was the season finale of a drama series. Outrage and obsession were walking hand in hand, perfectly balanced in hypocrisy. Bino's name started trending again, not for music, not for controversy, but for being the internet's most unpredictable ex. His words from the live were being turned into captions, stitched into TikTok videos, and remixed into emotional edits. People debated whether he was healing or hustling. Either way, he had everyone's attention, and in today's digital world, that's the most powerful currency of all. Meanwhile, Chrisean's fanbase was in full defense mode. They rallied online with hashtags, posting old videos of her being a devoted mom, reminding everyone how protective she's been of Baby Jr. "Say what you want about her, but she loves that child," one comment said with thousands of likes. The loyalty was fierce, like a digital army armed with screenshots and memories. But as always, not everyone played nice. Some took this moment to bring up old grudges, throwing shade about Chrisean's past, her temper, and her messy public image. It was like the internet couldn't separate her pain from her personality. Every tweet about empathy had another user quote tweeting with, "Well, remember when she..." The drama had no breaks. Then came the most shocking twist. A so-called insider claimed that Bino had been holding onto this information for months. According to them, he'd been frustrated with how the public viewed him as the absent ex, and wanted to set the record straight. If true, that changed everything. Fans began debating whether his timing was emotional or strategic. Some believed he cracked under guilt. Others thought he calculated the reveal like a PR move gone rogue, the internet's favorite pastime. Detective work kicked into high gear. Users dug through old lies, deleted tweets, and cryptic lyrics, trying to find signs that hinted at the truth. Every blurred screenshot became evidence. Every past argument suddenly seemed like foreshadowing. The digital FBI was on the case, and their findings spread faster than the actual facts. Then, the emotional reactions started pouring in from unexpected places. Influencers, who rarely talk about celebrity drama, posted long emotional reels about mental health and parent struggles. A few reality stars jumped into the mix, sharing how they understood the pain of being judged publicly as parents. Suddenly, it wasn't just a Chrisean and Bino story. It became a viral symbol of how fame collides with family in the ugliest ways. But leave it to the internet to twist empathy into entertainment. Within hours, people were doing reaction videos to other people's reaction videos. Clips of Bino's emotional moments were paired with dramatic soundtracks. TikTokers added fake captions pretending to have inside info, and YouTube thumbnails screamed, "He finally revealed the truth," in bold red letters, like they were uncovering a global conspiracy instead of a man's emotional confession. Still, one thing stood out. The fans genuinely cared about Baby Jr. The noise, the hashtags, the debates, underneath it all was real concern. For once, people weren't arguing about who was more famous or who started the fight. They were worried about a child caught in the middle of a storm neither parent could control. It was one of those rare internet moments where empathy and chaos shared the same trending space. Chrisean's silence was now deafening. She hadn't posted, commented, or gone live. Every minute of quiet felt like a week online. People were convinced she was planning something big, a statement, a video, or maybe even a full sit-down interview. Others thought she was just trying to process it all privately, away from cameras and chaos. Either way, her absence spoke louder than any caption could. That's when the second twist hit. Bino posted again. This time, it wasn't emotional. It was defensive. He said he didn't mean to start drama, that he spoke from pain, not spite. But the internet doesn't accept disclaimers. Screenshots of his clarification were already being chopped up, remixed, and turned into more content. His attempt to calm the fire only threw gasoline on it. Celebrities who had been quiet began chiming in subtly. One singer commented, "Some things should stay sacred," while another wrote, "People forget there's a human behind the headline." It was classy, but it also kept the buzz going. Because when big names react, it validates the drama. The storyline suddenly felt global. And just when you thought the story couldn't twist again, a clip surfaced from an old interview where Chrisean hinted about wanting to protect her son from the industry noise. That quote was suddenly everywhere, framed as a prophecy. Fans posted it with captions like, "She tried to tell us, and now it all makes sense." The timing was eerie, and it gave her silence a powerful edge. The narrative flipped overnight. Bino went from emotional father to accidental villain in the public eye. The same fans who once sympathized with him started questioning his motives. If you really care, why post it online? They asked. It was like watching a crowd turn mid-performance. Sympathy replaced with suspicion in a heartbeat. By the end of that week, the story wasn't just about a diagnosis. It was about trust, boundaries, and the dark side of being public in an era where privacy is the rarest luxury. Everyone had an opinion, a theory, or a moral lesson to share. The internet had turned one family's pain into a public referendum on how far is too far. When chasing truth online. But the craziest part? The story wasn't over. There were still messages left unanswered, reactions left unsaid, and millions of fans waiting for the next shoe to drop. Because in this world of non-stop updates, the silence between scandals is never peace. It's just the pause before the next explosion. When the dust finally started to settle, the silence didn't feel like peace. It felt like the eye of a hurricane. Everyone was waiting for Chrisean Rock's move. After all, she doesn't do quiet. She does chaos with purpose. So when she finally broke her silence, the internet practically stopped breathing. Her words were simple but loaded. Some things should never have been said. Just like that, the entire conversation flipped again. Her statement wasn't long or emotional. It was surgical. Short, sharp, and dripping with disappointment. Fans could feel the hurt between every word. It wasn't rage. It was heartbreak disguised as composure. The internet wasn't ready for that level of calm. People expected an explosive rant, but what they got was restraint. And that hit harder than any shouting match ever could. Suddenly, Bino's earlier post started aging like milk in the sun. Every confession clip was now being dissected with new perspective. What looked like honesty days ago now felt like betrayal. supporters began quietly deleting their sympathetic comments, switching sides like they were changing outfits. It was social media whiplash, the kind of instant reversal only the internet can deliver. The emotional tone online shifted overnight. Hashtags of support turned into hashtags of accountability. The digital crowd demanded apologies, clarity, explanations, anything that could patch the emotional chaos left behind. But Bino stayed mostly quiet this time. Maybe he realized every word he posted only made things worse. Or maybe he was just tired of being the villain in a story he thought he was telling from the heart. Meanwhile, Chrisean was rebuilding her narrative in real time. She posted clips of baby Junior laughing, playing, and smiling, not to prove anything, but to remind the world what mattered most. The comments section was flooded with heart emojis and messages of encouragement. "You're doing amazing, Mama," one fan wrote, echoing thousands of others. The internet had chosen its hero again, and this time it was her. But let's be honest. This is social media. Loyalty here lasts about as long as a trending sound on TikTok. People claimed they were done with drama, yet they couldn't stop watching. Every new post, every quote, every cryptic lyric was dissected like it held the missing piece of the puzzle. It was entertainment disguised as empathy, and no one wanted to admit it behind the trending chaos. The real story was quieter. To parents, a child, and a world watching every move, fame had turned private pain into public property. No matter how hard they tried to reclaim the narrative, it was already too late. The internet had written its version of events, and it wasn't asking for permission. In this digital era, truth isn't what's real. It's what goes viral first. Then came the interviews. Media outlets started reaching out to close friends and sources familiar with the situation. Suddenly, anonymous voices were painting pictures of what was happening behind closed doors. Some claimed Chrisean was devastated. Others insisted she was focused on healing. It was impossible to know what was true anymore. But that didn't stop anyone from sharing it like gospel. Meanwhile, Bino's reputation took a hit. Even his music pages saw an influx of comments, not about his songs, but about the controversy. "Why'd you post that? You should have handled that privately." The public had spoken, and they weren't forgiving easily. It was a classic internet cycle: lift someone up one day, tear them down the next. The same algorithm that made him trend was now burying him under criticism. But the irony of it all, the very thing that caused this mess, the truth, was still blurry. No one outside the family really knew the full story. Fans were operating off fragments, emotions, and assumptions. Yet, in the court of public opinion, facts don't matter as much as feelings. And this situation had given everyone enough feelings to last a month. Then, out of nowhere, an old clip of Chrisean resurfaced, a video where she talked about wanting to protect her son's energy from negativity. It was like poetic timing. Fans would post it everywhere, calling it prophecy fulfilled. Her image began shifting from controversial reality star to protective mother. Rising above the noise, the reverend wasn't intentional, but it was effective. By the next week, the headlines changed tone. Instead of focusing on the diagnosis, they started spotlighting Chrisean's resilience and Bino's silence. From chaos to calm, Chrisean Rock's redemption arc read one viral blog post. The narrative had turned, not because the facts changed, but because the public decided who they wanted to root for still. Behind all the glitz of trending hashtags and public sympathy, there was a human cost. Fame had taken a private family matter and turned it into a million-view spectacle. There were no winners here, just lessons in how fast the internet can twist compassion into content. Every repost, every reaction video, every prayers up comment was both support and spectacle rolled into one for Chrisean. It was a reminder that even silence speaks volumes. For Bino, it was proof that once something goes public, you can't control how it's perceived. And for baby Junior, the innocent center of it all, it was a harsh introduction to a world that doesn't respect boundaries when clicks are involved. As the story faded from trending lists, another headline took its place. That's the cycle. Today's heartbreak becomes tomorrow's hashtag, and the internet moves on, hungry for the next scandal. But for those involved, the aftermath lingers long after the world stops watching. The emotional scars don't fade as fast as the engagement numbers. The final twist. Rumors started circulating that Chrisean might tell her side in a future documentary or interview. Fans are already preparing popcorn, because no matter how much people claim they hate drama, they never actually stop consuming it. They just wait for the next chapter. And if there's one thing certain about Chrisean Rock, she always has another chapter. So here we are, watching a story that started as a leak and ended as a lesson. A reminder that even the loudest headlines can hide quiet pain. That not every confession is courage and not every silence is weakness. The internet may have moved on, but the truth, the real unfiltered, Human truth is still out there, somewhere between the hashtags and the heartbreak, and as always, everyone's waiting to see what happens next. Because in the world of viral fame, the show never really ends, it just reloads with a new twist, a new post, and a fresh wave of chaos waiting to trend. And there you have it, another internet earthquake in the never-ending saga of celebrity chaos. If you made it this far without refreshing your feed, congratulations, your drama stamina deserves an award. But don't think it's over yet, because in this world, silence only means someone's typing their next post. The moment you blink, another exclusive will drop, and you'll be right back here sipping digital tea like it's your full-time job. So before the next bombshell drops, hit that like button like it owes you money. Smash subscribe so hard it files for emotional damage. Because you already know, this channel is where the real stories come before the watered-down versions hit the blogs. We don't just cover scandals, we dissect them, flip them inside out, and sprinkle a little truth serum with a dash of sarcasm. Drop a comment below and tell me, was Trap Boy Bino wrong for speaking out? Or was he just being real in a world that punishes honesty? I want to hear your wildest theories, your boldest takes, and your most dramatic reactions. The best ones always make it into the next video, because here, your opinion is part of the story. And remember, in the world of fame, clout, and chaos, every secret eventually finds Wi-Fi. So stay tuned, stay curious, and stay ready, because tomorrow's private issue is tonight's trending headline. Until the next scandal breaks, keep your notifications on and your popcorn close. Because when it comes to celebrity drama, we don't miss a beat, we make the beat viral. We make the beat viral.